Enrique Calderón Alzate, president of the Arturo Rosenblueth Foundation, which was responsible for counting the votes, said that 747,000 votes were for the Santa Lucia option, and 310,463 to continue with the Texcoco project. The votes were from 98% of polling places. The consultation, which ran from Thursday through Sunday, was controversial on a number of fronts, including giving voters the decision on a matter as technical as the airport infrastructure for one of the world's largest cities. Cancellation of the current project, which is about one-third complete, involves the loss of more than $5 billion already spent, and could lead holders of $6 billion in bonds issued to finance the work to demand immediate payment. The Mexican peso weakened sharply on the news, quoted at 19.73 to the US dollar compared with 19.37 ahead of the announcement. Mr. López Obrador, who won the July 1 presidential election by a landslide, called the project designed by UK architect Norman Foster a waste of money for a country with Mexico's social needs. He campaigned in favor of the alternative, which he said would be cheaper. Mr. López Obrador said last week that his government would guarantee the contracts of principal companies working on the new airport. They include a construction firm owned by Mexican billionaire Carlos Slim, Spanish conglomerate Acciona S.A. as well as other leading Mexican builders such as Grupo ICA. The same work they have assigned at Texcoco they'll still do, only at Santa Lucia, if that's what the people decide, Mr. López Obrador said. He added that the bonds are secured by airport taxes. There's no problem, there's enough money to back up those bonds, he said. The Mexican Pension Fund Managers Association AMAFOR said late Sunday that workers' savings that pension funds have invested in the airport, in bonds and in a trust, are guaranteed by airport taxes, both the principal and a yield above inflation. It said pension funds account for less than 10% of the investment in the airport. The way the public consultation was organized, as well as the way the question was posed, drew criticism. Districts chosen for installing voting places won by Mr. López Obrador's Morena party were far more heavily represented than areas won by other parties, according to a study by Javier Aparicio, a political science professor at Mexico's Side University. There were also reports of people being able to vote more than once on the first day. Mr. Ramirez said the possibility of double voting was the result of connectivity problems with an application, which were resolved, and that it was minimal and didn't affect the results. Financial market analysts expressed concern that Mr. López Obrador will make a habit of putting key government decisions to public votes after he takes office December 1. There is a perception in local markets of greater risk because of uncertainty over the way in which the next government will conduct economic policy, said Gabriel Siller, head of analysis at Mexico's Banco Base, in a note. Mr. López Obrador has suggested using referendums or consultations to let people make more decisions, even including a midterm vote on whether to continue the presidential mandate. He recently chose a Spanish name for the new trade agreement with the US and Canada via Twitter poll. Mexican business groups representing among others the tourism, airline, and construction industries, have urged Mr. López Obrador to continue with the Texcoco airport. The principal infrastructure project of the administration of current President Enrique Peña Nieto. The Mexican College of Civil Engineers also favored Texcoco, and said the Santa Lucia option could turn out to be more costly once losses from canceling the current project are considered. The Center for Advanced Aviation System Development, part of U.S. research and development organization MITRE Corporation, and the UN's International Civil Aviation Organization say Texcoco is the best long-term solution to the problem of saturation at the current airport, which handled 44 million passengers last year and has no room to grow. Although the existing airport could operate alongside Santa Lucia, the number of flights would be limited by airspace restrictions, they said. Write to Anthony Harrop at anthony.harrop@wsj.com.